My shadow. Lucy was a 15-year-old girl who loved animals. Her favorite pet was her small, black cat named Shadow. Shadow had shiny fur and bright green eyes. Every day after school, Lucy would play with Shadow. Shadow loved to run around the house, jump on chairs, and chase her toy mouse. Lucy laughed when Shadow would hide behind the curtains and jump out to surprise her. One day, after a long day at school, Lucy came home, excited to see her cat. She opened the door and called, "Shadow, where are you?" But there was no answer. Usually, Shadow would run to Lucy when she came home. But today, Shadow was quiet. Lucy looked around the living room, the kitchen, and her bedroom, but Shadow was not there. Lucy began to worry. Where is she? She thought. She checked all of Shadow's favorite places. She looked under the table, behind the sofa, and even in the laundry basket where Shadow liked to hide. But Shadow wasn't there. Lucy's heart started to beat fast. What if I lost her? She thought. She ran to the backyard. Sometimes, Shadow liked to sit under the big tree there. Lucy looked around the garden. She checked under the tree, behind the bushes, and near the flowers. But there was no sign of Shadow. Lucy called out, "Shadow! Shadow, where are you?" But the yard was quiet. Only the wind made a soft sound as it moved the leaves on the trees. Lucy felt a tear in her eye. What if she ran away? What if I can't find her? She thought. She was feeling sad and scared. Shadow was her best friend. They did everything together. Lucy couldn't imagine her life without Shadow. Lucy decided to ask her neighbors for help. She ran to the house next door and knocked on the door. An old lady named Mrs. Smith opened the door. "Hello, Lucy," Mrs. Smith said with a smile. "How are you today?" Lucy tried to smile but was too worried. "Mrs. Smith, have you seen my cat? She is small and black, with green eyes. Her name is Shadow, and I can't find her anywhere." Mrs. Smith shook her head. "I'm sorry, Lucy. I haven't seen her today. But don't worry, cats are clever. I'm sure she's just hiding somewhere." Lucy thanked Mrs. Smith and went to the next house. She asked her other neighbors, "Have you seen my cat? She's black with green eyes." One of the neighbors said, "I saw a black cat near the park a little while ago." Lucy's eyes lit up with hope. The park. Maybe Shadow went to the park, she thought. Without wasting any time, Lucy ran as fast as she could to the park. The park was big, with lots of trees, flowers, and places where cats could hide. When she arrived at the park, she called out, "Shadow! Shadow, where are you?" She looked around but didn't see her cat. Lucy walked deeper into the park. She looked under the benches, behind the trees, and near the playground, but there was still no sign of Shadow. Lucy started to feel tired, but she didn't want to give up. She walked to the big tree in the center of the park. The tree was very old and tall, and there were many bushes around it. Lucy called out one more time, "Shadow, please come out." Suddenly, Lucy heard a soft sound. Meow. It was very quiet, But Lucy knew that sound. It was Shadow. Lucy looked around and saw her cat sitting under a bush near the tree. Shadow's bright green eyes looked up at Lucy. She looked a little scared but safe. "Shadow, I found you," Lucy cried out. She ran to her cat and gently picked her up. Shadow meowed softly and rubbed her head against Lucy's hand. Lucy felt so happy and relieved. "I thought I lost you," she whispered to Shadow. She held her close and walked back home, feeling much better. On the way home, Lucy thought about what happened. "Maybe I forgot to close the door when I left for school this morning," she realized. She knew she had to be more careful from now on. When they got home, Lucy gave Shadow some food and water. Shadow looked happy to be back, and soon she was playing with her toy mouse again as if nothing had happened. Lucy sat down and smiled. "I'm so happy you're safe, Shadow," she said, stroking her soft fur. Shadow purred loudly, showing that she was happy too. From that day on, Lucy always made sure to close the door and check on Shadow before she left the house. She didn't want to go through the worry of losing her again. And every day after that, Lucy and Shadow continued to play together, just like before. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more English, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notifications so you never miss a new video. Your support helps the channel grow, and I really appreciate it.